An app on your phone writes down where you go hundreds of times a day. That map of your life is for sale for less than $2. Open your weather app, your prayer app, that free game. Buried inside each one is a snippet of code called an SDK, and its quiet job is to record your location and ship it to a company you have never heard of. That company sells it, not your name, they promise, only an advertising ID and a trail of timestamped coordinates. But here is the concrete part. Regulators have shown that trail can be traced from a health clinic straight to your front door. Your movements are a product bought and sold every day. Today, we follow the entire supply chain and show you exactly how to unplug from it. Here is how the machine works. The apps you trust embed software kits from data companies. Every time you open them, they log where you are and beam it out. Aggregators buy those feeds from thousands of apps at once, stitch them into single profiles keyed to your device, and resell them on an open market to advertisers, hedge funds, bounty hunters, and government agencies. The Federal Trade Commission now calls the most sensitive version of this illegal. Between 2022 and 2026, it went after brokers named Kokeva, Xmode, and InMarket. Over the next few minutes, how your phone leaks, how the trade actually works, the real people it has already exposed, and the settings that shut it down. Chapter 1. Your phone is talking. Start with your own pocket. Most apps do not build location tracking themselves, they rent it. A developer drops in a free software kit, an SDK, from a data company, and in exchange for that free tool, the company gets a copy of everywhere the app sees you go. You tap allow once, thinking it is for the map, and the collection never stops. The FTC's own filings show the scale. In its case against InMarket, finalized in 2024, the Commission said the company gathered location data from its own apps and from third-party apps that built in its SDK, reaching tens of millions of devices. And the data is precise, latitude and longitude, accurate to a few meters, stamped with the exact second you were there. String those points together and you do not get a dot, you get a story. Where you sleep, where you work, who you visit late at night. And the pitch to every buyer is the same reassurance. It is anonymous, just an advertising ID, no name attached. Hold on to that word, anonymous, because it is the first thing that falls apart. Chapter 2. From apps to auctions. So where does it go? Up the chain. Aggregators buy raw feeds from thousands of apps and merge them into unified profiles, each tied to your device's advertising ID. Then they list them on what is, functionally, an open market. Here is where the price matters. Sold one person at a time, this data is stunningly cheap. An analysis by the Financial Times once pegged basic profile information at fractions of a penny per person. Bought in bulk, a location trail runs a broker only cents to a couple of dollars ahead. For the price of a coffee, someone can pull where you have been. Kokeva, the broker the FTC sued in 2022, advertised data from hundreds of millions of devices. Its own sample feed, the Commission said, could trace a phone from a reproductive health clinic to a single-family home, showing it parked there at least 3 evenings that same week. No warrant, no hack, just a purchase order. And the buyers are not only advertisers, hedge funds, insurers, and government agencies realize that buying your data beats getting a warrant. Chapter 3. When dots get names. Anonymous. Here is where that word dies. In 2020, reporters at Vice's motherboard traced the data trail backward and found Muslim Pro, a prayer app with more than 98 million downloads, was sending its users' granular location to a broker called Xmode. Xmode, in turn, sold location data to contractors working for the US military. Millions of people checking prayer times, quietly feeding a defense supply chain. Then, in 2021, a newsletter called The Pillar bought a commercially available location dataset, the kind anyone can license, and matched the supposedly anonymous signals to a single phone. That phone belonged to a senior official at the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. The data placed the device at his home, his office, and at gay bars, night after night. Within days, he resigned. Sit with that. A dataset sold as anonymous, bought off the shelf, was de-anonymized to expose one specific human being. This was not hypothetical. It already happened, to a prayer app user and to a priest, and the raw material was the same feed leaking from your phone right now. Chapter 4. The government draws lines. For years, this trade had no referee. That changed. In August 2022, the Federal Trade Commission sued Kokeva, arguing that selling data which tracks people to reproductive health clinics, places of worship, and domestic violence shelters is an unfair practice that harms consumers. Kokeva fought it. The case survived a second motion to dismiss in 2024, and in 2026 ended in a settlement barring the company from selling sensitive location data without your explicit opt-in consent. Then came the firsts. In January 2024, the FTC announced its first ever settlement banning a data broker, Xmode, now called OutLogic, from sharing or selling sensitive location data, and ordered it to delete what it had already collected. Weeks later, InMarket was barred from selling precise location data at all. Regulators spelled out the places now off-limits without consent: medical and reproductive facilities, religious sites, schools, shelters, and military installations. It is real progress. But these orders bind a handful of companies. There are hundreds of brokers, and the feed from your phone keeps flowing until you turn it off. Which brings us to the only part of this you fully control. Chapter 5. Take back your map. You cannot delete yourself from every broker, but you can choke off the supply at the source, your phone, in 10 minutes. First, revoke location permissions. Open your settings, go through the app list, and for anything that is not a map or a rideshare, set location to never or ask next time. A weather app does not need you every second. A flashlight never did. Second, kill the advertising ID. On iPhone, turn off Allow Apps to Request to Track. Apple calls it App Tracking Transparency, and disable the Personalized Ad Identifier. On Android, delete your advertising ID outright in privacy settings. That one switch strips the key brokers use to link your dots together. Third, audit background location. Any app allowed to see you all the time is the leakiest of all. Cut it down to while using only. And when a new app asks for location, pause. Most have no honest reason to know. None of this makes you invisible, but it turns a rich, continuous, sellable trail into a thin trickle of nothing worth buying. And that is the whole game. Let us bring it home. Your location is not being stolen by some shadowy hacker. It is being sold, legally, cheaply, at scale, by companies whose names you will never see, harvested by the apps you chose to trust. The good news is that the exit is a settings menu, and you can walk through it tonight. Revoke the permissions. Reset the ad ID. Starve the feed. If this changed how you see the phone in your hand, subscribe to Cyber Decoded. One real case at a time, decoded straight from the court documents and the reporting. Next time, 3 college kids, bored one summer, built a weapon that broke the internet, all to win at Minecraft. It became one of the most destructive tools in the history of cybercrime. You will not believe how it started. Do not miss it.